Good evening, good evening, good evening. Give me a moment. It is time is 0 100 hours 49 minutes on Thursday, March 7, 2019. I'm gonna try to do the gay agenda because I didn't really research it. I just paid attention to the news and I jotted down some key points on the gay agenda. I'm gonna do the elites and we're gonna go over those and have more parts because it's even the last life I made about hatred. I just see it. I just watched. I know it's sports and it's entertainment, but this is very eye opening and revealing because I'm watching people that says this. I got a neighbor. He's Puerto Rican. He'll call himself black. He got this picture of his grandfather, and he's saying he black. But I'm looking at the dude and like he's not black. He's just very dark, dark man. He's not. I think people just assume because you're dark, you're black. And black is a word. So I said, is he African? And he said he's black. I was like, that's just a word. I said, is he African of African descent? I like, no, he's been colonized. He's African. And he called himself a Boricua. But what he do, he choose to be black at certain times. See, that's why I put blacks in. If you see how I write word black, I put quotes around it because nobody want to be black all the time. People pick and choose when they black, especially when it caters to what they want to do. See, it's black when he got a penis or something racial. And see, when he say things around me, I tell him don't do that. He said that's who he is. And then he tried to do it slickly. And I just say, hey man, after a while I'm gonna be around you. He's like, I don't got no filter. I don't care, man. And he'll get mad, then try to apologize later. And then I just look at him like, no, that don't go in my book. But I tell you this hate. We hate because it's so sad and disheartening. So now, like, I don't get sad anymore. I say I'm more disheartened, but it don't weigh on me heavy as it used to. I remember the first time I was called a nigger. It wasn't heavy because it was the first time. But then with the second, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, it's bad. You keep telling me the world is not racist or hateful, but I can be called a nigger. I'm 36. I'm close to 100 times of being called the word nigger by other race people. Okay, the word nigga. Usually, if I talk down, talk to, not talk down, talk to, talk with, be with the people that says the word nigga, it's understanding. I don't use it, and they say okay. Only people that has a problem with it, I keep saying, well, if you go to New York, it's always people that's mixed or they got that's another ethnicity, another nationality. They want to beef with you about how you want to be addressed and what you want to be associated with. They love to beef with you. And I look at it, I was like, why is it so important that you call me, that you use the word nigga so bad? It's in your vote. Think about what you're doing. Think about what you're saying. You're saying the word nigga so bad. The most derogatory word in the English language. Just the language. We're not going to get in deep with it, but the English language that they created. The most derogatory word, the most offensive word. It's the root. From the sub word from hatred, for racism, from nigger. And you want to use the word nigga. Why do the other national, like, why is that even still in use in 2019 by even us? I don't get it. And the dude tried to explain this to me about isms when he learned about all these isms. And he said I was in the military. He said his drill instructor, because he was in the army, heard two black dudes using the word nigga to each other. Then he had this profile statement, but what he got out of it, he's like, it finally made him understand the isms, so racism, and he tried to break it down profoundly, but then I asked him, it only jailed with you because you heard them say it and you couldn't say it back. Because if you can say it, would you have a problem with it? You got to think about that. That's why that's why I'm stuck on hate right now. Because if you can say it, would you have a problem? If we was really treating people fairly, would there be racism? See, people gotta see. I'm a thinker. I know we used to say that before. We said, oh, now you strong. Now you higher. Now you good. We used to always say that, and we got that from babies, because babies were all people that stutter, but mostly, we got it from babies. Babies like, well, I want that. What you want? Candy. Like, what's that? I want candy. And it's like, what's that? And then you being funny with the baby, and the baby say, I want candy, and you start laughing. Then that now into 2018 that became a thing when you use the word twice. But we got it from babies. And I was like, he could never such as get back to me the way I was like, he kept trying to challenge me on the word. He didn't really want the discussion. He just wanted to know his spot to be known. And I was letting them know, you so big on these schisms, but I guarantee you don't treat people fairly. See, when a person want to talk to me as that, I'll leave that alone and say, I want to talk to you. Why is it so much that you feel now when you hear people say that, or you feel a certain way, now you think you about to say something? No, because I'm gonna ask you, what's the big deal? Why your family still uses the word at home and you don't say nothing? I guarantee you that young white man couldn't go home and tell his father to shut up, stop calling people niggers, stop being racist. I guarantee you he never done that in his whole life. But he had a two problem. See, and that's the thing. That's the funny part. He's trying to police us. But then when the police come to police us, they don't help us, they kill us. So his words was coming to kill. It wasn't coming to help. It wasn't come to mend. See, we just get away with bonding and binding. You didn't come to mend in the heal and the free. You came to put your point down. See, you had a privilege and you tried to use it. See, your privilege allow you. See, if you had the same treatment as I was, you wouldn't have been saying that. You'd have had a different plight. And then in my last live, I didn't talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it now, how we breed hate. And a lot of people is going to find this very offensive, so I'll warn you now. If you're the type of person that listen to my other lives, you think I'm crazy and everything else, you really about to hate what I'm about to say. And I have an Instagram. Instagram is oness1_716. ONESSONE_716. That's my Instagram. ONESSONE_716. And it's bad. It's called the post is bad seed. And when you read the post, I warn people that the same way. The spirit showed me what is a bad seed. Now, this is going to sound bad to a lot of people, and it's going to be very offensive. As you know, most African descended people in America, quote unquote, what they call as black, is born in what part of the city? The inner city, correct? So think about it. Our young men and women are going to be more attracted to what? That part. We call it the hood, the ghetto, or the projects. Some of the women is not going to be so desired because they're not going to have that mentality. Because if you have 4 children, at least one of the children want to become something different other than the product of their environment. And this is how we create hatred and bad seed. If a man is out there in the streets, ripping and running the streets, womanizing, hurting women, hurting children, hurting him, not taking care of his kids, not even productive to his family, and this is how I have to say it. It's bad. He's a bad seed. And when he get with a woman, her womb is a shell. Think about this. Because how we talk about seed, the rotten, one rotten apple can spoil a bunch. Because you don't want that rottenness to keep rotting the other apples. So you want to find the apple and throw it away. Because what's making that apple rotten is the inside. So that's the seed that man have. So if that man cannot do anything other than what he's doing, that's a bad seed. So he's gonna lay his seed inside of the shell to be incubated. That woman and man. Now we wanna. You can say all you want. He just produced a bad seed. Because now if he come out and that man don't change his life and do better, that child is gonna know him from what he's doing now. See, we're not gonna realize that. So when parents do change, your child only know they're going by your first of your fruit, the harvest. When your first harvest come, this is what he's trying to explain to you. You just gave a bad seed. Your child is a bad seed because that child is only can see what is being shown. Unlike a television, a movie, a big screen, that child eyes is everything. That's the big screen. Everything that comes in front of that child is the screen. Before they see a television, before they hear music, they hear you. So if you cussing, you smoking, you drinking, then the woman, what she's gonna have a bad shell. She allowed her uterus to be busted open by many men. She's very promiscuous. She have Jezebel tendencies. We call them the Tatiana, the whores, then they're whoremongers. She's allowing men to penetrate her and to busting her. She has multiples. She have abortions. See, nobody's talking about this. I'm just talking about in general. What's a bad seed and a bad harvest? And this is what we have done with our race of people. Men that haven't been fathers are bad seed. That's a bad harvest. I'm not a bad harvest. My father wasn't so great to all his children. But the two women that gave him children never thought about that. And they wasn't even bad women. But then there's women that allow their uterus to be used up. And I would tell any young woman this: if you get stabbed out by a man with his penis, you losing your sense for. See, I can understand you want that wild and savage, but the wild and savage shouldn't be with over 50, 30, 40, 30, 80, 100 men in your lifetime. Then tell me, do bodies matter? Yes, it does matter. It's called soul ties. You're transferring your part of your essence of who you are into that person. You either going to receive it or it's going to be put into you. The man receives. This is when it reverse because he penetrate the woman, so he receive everything from her. He puts in her, and he receives. That child supposed to be the gift for life. That's the completeness of life. So until we understand that you cannot have a seed and then put it in the shell. Then if the shell is not good, let's say my seed is good seed and I'm going to put it into a bad shell. That's going to be not a good harvest. Now, I'm not saying it can't get better, but if I'm giving essence to her and that's putting that into that child, guess what that child's going to receive? So that's why when you're not clean, see, and you thinking about, and this is the spiritual. Now, this is what we do in spiritual. We got all these religions. We are soul tying ourselves to a religion, not even knowing what the religion fully means. I'm not gonna give my child a religion. I'm gonna show my child the truth, the all truth, the truth. This is how the world works. This is the design. Now you have a choice. I want to put my child in a situation like I was talking to a guy and he's talking to his grandson and his daughter was talking to him. And I don't know if it was his daughter or grandson. We talk about his story, but I remember he was saying it was his son. No, his son was younger. This is what he did. He's a cool guy. And he said his son was failing or wasn't doing so because we was talking about life and math, how that like math is an important. Just even if you know how to add, subtract, because that holds the account of your money. That's how you do finances. Is what basic math. You don't need a lot of you don't need trigonometry or calculus or physics. And his son was failing. He wasn't doing too great. He would have been failing. But his son wanted to play sports and go places and do things. So he told his son, well, You got to get your grades up to do all these things, or I can't allow you. I can't. What I look like being a father, and you got poor grades, and I go get you a video game. See, that baffles me when I see kids with Jordans. They got the latest games, the latest fashion. You like such as you can't get your child like new clothes without the latest. They're not even doing it. They got 70. They got C's. And it's not even for the lat. They didn't even do they put it this way. They didn't even do their project. It's a simple little project. They didn't even do that. A little bit of research. You had four because it's like they get it in the second semester. In the second, like for school, I think the first semester when you in regular high school, in school, it's like from September to like as in December, something as that, because it's 4 semester. But put it this way, you get 2 or 3 months each semester. So in 2 or 3 months, you get a project when you just got to write a paper and do a regular like a 2 page essay. And it's funny how it say essay in the Spaniards, but I don't get into that. And he had to do that. But what his son had to do is get better at math. But he showed his son so well. This is what his son did. His son did everything in his power. He got a tutor. His son got the tutor. He was going to do it, but his son did it on his own. That's the type of knowledge and education I want to give my child. I don't want my child to just look at me and I gave him the power and ability from what I had. I gave him the knowledge to have the power and ability to say, it's tutors at my school. They come to our class. They ask us, do we need help? And then my father said, I want you to do better and not even beat me. Cause I don't even want to whoop my child when they're doing wrong or if they're not getting what I think they should be getting. Because sometimes they're not going to get it. It might come on their time. But I at least want them to have a wherewithal to understand, go get help. Oh, okay. If I'm good at science, you come to me, your father. But if you know like that, you're not good at social study. I need to please go to somewhere else. And I hope they look first, like I always do, such as I do my nephew. But nobody, I had to show him that. He don't come to me no more. And I hope he's not coming to me because he's doing his research. I will make him do their own research. So to get rid of hate, that right there, I know my topics may not seem as they align into what I'm getting at, but they do. Think about it. How the hate that we love, the love we breed to hate, how that bad seed, how that man harvest, how his seed go into that shell, the womb, his sperm, his semen become, it spreads as like a seed. It's a seed, it's a whole bunch of them. And it's men, and that's his product he giving to her. So if he's not giving a good product, and it can go rotten too fast. And it can go rotten fast if she's not doing the right thing. She got to eat her vitamins. She got to eat the good foods. Got to eat foods that's for the child. Can't do drugs. And he got to beat her and say, okay, I don't want you to do those things, but here I am. But you got to be working together. And if you're not working together, you will get a bad harvest. So what I say unto one, I say unto all. It's your path. It's your journey. It's your choice. Choose wisely. I hope I help someone understand what we're truly doing to one another, what you're doing to your children, and even to what you're doing to yourself. Look at your house. Look at things that you watch and things, people you be around that say, that's bad. And say something to them. Like, yo, you always hating. I never hear you say a good thing about no one. I don't ever see you being positive. Check them. Because I know my people, even that Puerto Rican guy, he don't get away with that. And I say, dude, I see you, and I get up, I leave. He'll get you can't beat me. I already know. I learned why the creator made me 6'5". I didn't realize how big I was until the other day. So you have a good night and stay well. Shalom.